One thing Michigan State fans can always expect is to see their men's basketball team challenged in the non-conference slate, and that expectation will continue in the 2023-24 season. According to CBS Sports college basketball insider John Rothstein, Michigan State is finalizing an agreement to play Baylor on December 16 at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. The Detroit News' Tony Paul was the first to report rumblings of a potential matchup between the Spartans and Bears this way. Head coach Tom Izzo loves to schedule tough opponents early in the season to galvanize his roster and prepare the Spartans for the Big Ten and future postseason play. Last season, Michigan State played Gonzaga, Kentucky, Villanova, Alabama, Oregon and Notre Dame in 6 of its first 8 games. Spartans are already scheduled for neutral site games against Duke and Arizona, and a home game against Butler, with more expected to be added to their non-conference slate. Michigan State is expected to be one of the best teams in the country this season, with multiple publications including the Spartans' inside preseason top 5 and top 10 projections for the 2023-24 season. Ryan Young received one important Duke basketball history lesson this week. Steve Wojciechowski wasn't the first Duke basketball player to slap the floor on defense. No, Johnny Dawkins, Tommy Amaker, and the 1985-86 Blue Devils ignited the program ritual late in a win over Georgia Tech in the ACC tournament title game. But one could argue Wojciechowski, a relatively short, heavy-footed point guard for 4 years in Durham before becoming a longtime assistant under Mike Krzyzewski, cemented the Blue Devil tradition. This week, the 46-year-old, the newly appointed head coach of the Salt Lake City Stars in the G League, sat down with returning Duke basketball graduate center Ryan Young for the Brotherhood Podcast, Episode 3. Young referred to Wojo as the godfather of the Duke floor slap. And Wojciechowski responded with a touch of self-deprecating humor. "I don't take credit for it," he told Young. This topic begins at 10:25 in the video below. Tommy Amaker and that crew started it. "It's just the best thing I did as a player, so that's what everybody remembers me for, and I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or not. It's mostly a compliment. It's safe to say no Blue Devil in history played with more passion than Steve Wojciechowski. Perhaps the all-time most replayed Duke basketball floor slapping was his repeated pounding of the court on his 1998 senior day in the second half of an improbable comeback victory against arch-rival UNC, amplified by his pointed finger run to hug Coach K immediately following the buzzer. Slapping the floor, its genesis is rooted in a call to action, Wojciechowski explained. "I took pride in being a leader here. And I took pride in being responsible when there was a collective call to action. That's what the floor slap is, a call to action to the guys to be connected, to lock in, kind of spiritually and emotionally together, and physically try to get a stop. That's what the floor slap is to me. Again, I wish it wasn't the best thing I did as a player, but I'm still reminded of it. I still get asked quite frequently to slap the floor." UVA extended an offer to Jacob Wilkins, a 4-star wing in the recruiting class of 2025 and the son of NBA great Dominique Wilkins. Virginia extended a scholarship offer to Jacob Wilkins, a 4-star wing in the recruiting class of 2025 and the son of Hall of Fame basketball star Dominique Wilkins. Jacob Wilkins reported the offer in a tweet on Tuesday evening. A 6 feet 8 inches wing from Atlanta, Georgia, Wilkins has already picked up some significant offers despite still being more than 2 years away from enrolling in college. In addition to Virginia, Wilkins has been offered by Alabama, Cincinnati, Indiana, and Georgia, with plenty more major conference programs likely to join the party soon. 247 Sports rates Wilkins as the number 30 overall recruit in the class of 2025, the number 5 small forward in the country, and the number 3 prospect in the state of Georgia. Wilkins plays for Grayson High School in Loganville, Georgia. Dominique Wilkins enjoyed an accomplished basketball career that included 9 NBA All-Star selections, but he is most remembered for his dunking prowess as evidenced by him being a 2-time NBA Slam Dunk Contest champion. It should come as no surprise then that his son is blessed with remarkable athleticism and dunking ability. Jacob Wilkins is long and athletic, but he also has a smooth perimeter jumper that makes him a nightmare to guard. With 2 years remaining in his high school career, Wilkins could end up developing into one of the top prospects in the country in the recruiting class of 2025.